Welcome to this NeuroPilates class. In NeuroPilates, we theme each class towards a different part of the brain, and today we're going to be theming the class towards a body part, and that's our feet. The feet are extremely important to the brain because they're our base of support, they're packed full of nerve endings, and they're extremely important from a survival point of view because they take up, their representation takes up a lot of brain space. So we're going to mobilize the feet, we're going to improve the sensation and awareness of the feet, and we're going to integrate it into the Pilates repertoire so we're more aware of our feet during the Pilates exercise. You should feel really energized by the end of it. You might feel freer in your body. You might feel just more connected to your feet in general, more grounded. So let's go ahead and get started. All you need is a mat, or if a nice, carpet is fine. We're gonna start actually with improving the sensory awareness of the feet. Now, if you have a tennis ball, you can go ahead and put the tennis ball under your foot and just start rolling. But if you don't have any prop, we're just gonna use our hands. So you can sit on the floor like I am, or on a chair, and I just want you to massage the base of your foot. Now, that could be just with the palm of your hand like this, or with your thumbs, whatever feels good, but we're just gonna wake up the nerve endings at the bottom of the foot, by rubbing, tapping, banging, pinching, whatever, to stimulate all the different types of nerve endings. And then go ahead and grab your heel with your opposite hand and grab your top of the foot with the same side hand and twist the foot in opposite directions. So twist the top of the foot and the heel in opposite directions as if you're wringing a towel. And that should feel really nice on your foot. Keeps the flexibility there, the mobility of the foot, and is in line with the spiral line that runs at the base of your foot. Then the last part we're going to do is here, in between the bones, the metatarsals of your feet, we have spaces, right? So with your fingers, I just want you to create a bit more groove through those spaces, because when we're younger, obviously it's a lot more soft and malleable. And when we're older, they thicken and tense up because of the load. And we just want to make sure that we remind the body and the brain of the existence of these spaces. And let's do the same on the other foot. So first, just rub the base of the foot, either with a ball or with your hand if you don't mind. Massage it if you like. Grab the heel with the opposite hand. Grab the top of the foot with the same side hand and twist. Notice any differences maybe in flexibility between one foot and the other. And then groove the spaces between the metatarsals with your thumb. And you could even do like these zigzag motions in each space, up and down the foot. Now that we've woken up our feet from a sensory perspective, let's move it. The sensory cortex lives right next to your motor cortex in the brain. Your motor cortex is what moves us, makes us move. So the waking up the sensory receptors before we start moving is really nice for improving proprioception and awareness of the feet all around. So while you're standing tall now, I just want you to feel how your feet feel. Hopefully you should feel grounded and connected because you've woken up all the nerves there. Lengthen through the crown of the head in the opposite direction. Just make sure your ribs are directly stacked over your pelvis. And then while you're here, you're gonna just think about lifting your big toe. So big toe comes up and the four toes ideally stay down. Try not to look down at your feet. Try and trust your senses. See if you can do it without looking. Now press the big toe down and lift your four toes up. And notice how your hands want to do it. Big toe goes up, four toes go down. That's because in the brain, your hands and feet representation live side by side. So they often, one guides the other. But try and keep your hands out of it. Now switch, big toe down, four toes up. And if you're not able to do this, just visualize yourself doing it. Because even if you visualize these moving, keep going if you can while I'm talking. Big toe up, four toes down. Big toe down, four toes up. I'm showing you with my hands, but I don't want you to move your hands. Yeah? So even visualizing the movement will activate the same neurons in the brain as if you were actually moving it. And eventually you will be able to move it. Now lift all 4 toes, all 10 toes up, and then go ahead and spread the toes down on the mat. And let's rise up onto the big toe side of the foot. Put most of your weight on the big toe side of the foot, and then come down again. You will feel a lot more balanced as you do these if your ribs are over your pelvis. They're not back here. So make sure your ribs are stacked over your pelvis and really think about the weight mostly being on the big toe side, because our natural tendency is to let our ankles roll out, which lets us, it's not harmful to do that at all, but you lose balance, right? So think about keeping that weight more medial. Now let's try and stay up as we open the arms out to the side. Here it's useful to think about your center core muscles. Come back to the front again, and then lower. So we go up on the inhale, exhale, open the arms out to the side, inhale, come back forward, and lower. One more time. We rise up, open the arms out to the side, come back to the front again, and lower. Now just step your left foot forward, angle the foot in 45 degrees, and roll to the outside of your ankle. This is probably one of the most useful foot mobilizations, I think, that anyone can do, because most of our injuries happen in ankle sprains. Most of them happen in this inverted position. So as you get your body used to it and the brain maps this movement, it starts to become less threatening in real life when it actually does happen. And over time, as you keep training it, you're going to start adding load and speed to it to really make this part of the body very resilient. Let's do it on the other side. Right foot goes forward, angle it in, and then roll to the outside. This also is really useful for people who have flat feet or pronated arches or pronated feet, fallen arches or pronated ankles, because when you are in that position, you're blocking these joints constantly. So trying to open up that space, do it every time you take your shoes off. It's a good habit to have. Now let's plant our big toe and little toe down, and then just massage the ball of your foot by circling the heel around as if there's a piece of paper behind the heel and it's drawing a circle on that piece of paper. And go ahead and change direction. What you're doing is making sure your big toe and little toe remain fixed on the mat, and you're opening up the spaces between your metatarsal. That's the bit we were just grooving with our thumbs. And let's add some load to this. So we just mobilized it, unloaded. Now if you step to a 45-degree angle, but everything is squared forward. So imagine you were stepping your foot forward. You're just stepping it out to the side, but you're not angling your foot to the side. Everything's squared to the front. Put most of your weight on this left leg, and then start to circle the heel around, making it smooth if possible. If it's choppy or jittery like this, just go a little slower. And what you're doing now is you're mobilizing and strengthening at the same time, strengthening the foot, the ankle, all the associated muscles and tissues that have a role to play. Change direction. And so many of our problems get sorted when our feet are in a better place. If you make your feet more trustworthy or more mobile or more strong, then everything else does better. All the other joints do better. If your feet joints are blocked, or if they're proprioceptively poor, then all the rest of the joints have to pick up the slack and compensate, and they're all affected. Now let's come back. Let's do the right foot unloaded first. So circle the heel around, keeping your big toe and little toe on the mat. Change direction. And then you're going to step 45-degree forward, put most of your weight on there. Keep going. Let me just check that I'm definitely recording, because I just actually taught this class. We're recording. I taught this class just before this one. Did pretty much 45 minutes teaching, and then discovered that nothing recorded at all. So we're repeating now. And 45-degree, shift your weight now onto the right side and circle. massaging the ball of the foot against the floor. And change direction. Lovely. And just notice how connected your feet feel now, how strong they feel. Let's load them even more now. This next bit, we're going to go down into a deep squat. So if your knees are uncomfortable with that, then you're just going to do this standing. I'll show you how. But first, we're going to come up onto our toes, take the arms in front, and imagine there's a wall behind your back and you're sliding down that wall, coming all the way down, only as far as your knees can handle. So if it's up to here, just go back up again, lower your heels. Otherwise, come all the way down and then slide all the way back up again. And then when you're done, you lower the heels to give yourself a little rest. And then we repeat 3 times. We're going to inhale to rise. Exhale, go only as low as your knees can handle. Slide your back against that wall all the way up again. And give your arms and heels a little bit of a rest. Last time, we go up. We come all the way down. Here, imagine your feet are swelling into the floor. They're growing, 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 expanding to this huge base of support. And then you come down. Now, we're either going to go all the way down or halfway down. So it's up to you. Let me turn this way so I've got my camera hidden. We go up and then either halfway down if your knees are uncomfortable, or we go all the way down here and we pause. Now here, if you're in this position, you're going to send your knees down and then come back up again. That's the move. Try not to fall like I did. Keep your arms here if you can. Lean back with your torso as you soften your knees to the mat without banging, and then lean back to bring them back. So you'll notice here that you're really feeling your feet fatigue very quickly, and they're getting a workout. So you're, again, mobilizing and strengthening at the same time. If you're up here, all I want you to do is just lower your heels and lift your heels until we finish. Lower and lift the heels. If you're down here, now let's reverse it. We go heels down. I can't take my heels down because I'm very stiff in my ankles. You might be able to. And then you come up to here. So we go backward as far as your ankles can dorsiflex, and then we come back up to this position. We go backward again, and then this position. Now let's go all the way forward, all the way backward, all the way forward. If you're doing the halfway position, take a break and do another set because you're probably tired by now in your quads. We go all the way forward, all the way backward, all the way forward, all the way backward, and come all the way back up again. Shake your feet. Notice how awake they are and how maybe bigger they feel. You want to feel like your base of support has widened. Let's stand at the back of our mats, and we're going to do a balance walk to the front, and then we're going to sit down and start our mat work. So we're going to go heel to toe, all the way up the mat. If this is easy, because I assume it might be for some of you, just close your eyes as you do it. Our eyes contribute a lot to our balance, and our feet do as well. So if you remove the eyes, which is the biggest dependency on balance, then your feet are going to have to, the receptors or the nerve endings at the bottom of the feet are going to have to work harder. So see if you can tightrope walk all the way to the front of your mat, as if you're on a tightrope with eyes closed. This time we're going to stay at the front of the mat when we get there. And now we cross the ankles. In the traditional way, we go down to the mat in Pilates is to cross the ankles, genie the arms, and softly come down all the way down. You may not be able to do that. Just come down in your own way. Depends a lot, of course, on your mobility of the knees and ankles. And then go ahead and roll down on your back. And just start with a few pelvic tilts while you're here. Lengthen your spine. Rock your pelvis back and forth as if there's a cup of tea here on your pelvis. You're spilling that tea over your tummy, and then you're bringing it back again. And now, because this is a class focusing on feet, I just want you to feel the relationship your feet have to the pelvis. If you just do this movement by driving the feet into the ground, you'll notice your pelvis moves automatically into this tilt. And then if you soften your feet then it comes back to neutral. So push your feet into the floor to imprint your spine, and then soften the feet and feel the pelvis return back to its original position. So going back and forth, collarbones wide. Notice also the relationship your feet have to your head and neck. As you drive your pelvis into this position, your head and neck move. Don't restrict that movement. Let everything move the way it wants to. And we're just noticing and observing the connections. And relax. We're going to get ready for the 100 now. So 100 is the main Pilates warm-up. You're going to, it doesn't feel like a warm-up at all, I know. It's definitely a main phase exercise. Lift one leg up to tabletop, and then lift the other leg to tabletop too. And if you need to imprint to do that, you're more than welcome to. Whatever feels good for your spine. Squeeze your legs together. Energize the arms, hovering them above the ground. But as you make your arms longer, keep the collarbones wide and open. And then you're going to nod your chin down a little bit while your head is still on the floor. And then go ahead and curl up with the head and shoulders, straightening the legs if you want to, and start pumping strongly with the arms, but slow with the breath. The breath is usually breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and the arms are pumping nice and fast and vigorous, because that was the goal with Joseph Pilates. He wanted the 100 to be the warm-up, the blood pumping, everything waking up, even from a nervous system point of view, and the challenge of coordinating fast arms with slow breath while under load in this position. Feel free to turn the legs out if that feels better. Get a little bit more connection in your glutes. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. I think we're maybe on 80 by now. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 90. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 100. Reach, 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 and either rest or see if you can go to the next exercise directly without arching your back. Take your legs all the way down to the floor. Separate your legs. Flex your feet very strongly and try and reach for your toes. Reach for your toes. Reach for your toes. See if you can slowly come into your roll up into this round back position at the top. If you struggled to come up, maybe fold your mat behind you like this, or put a pillow kind of right where your lower back is. And then on the way down, we're going to sit on our jeans back pockets and roll down one vertebra at a time, taking the arms overhead. Lift the arms up to the ceiling with the shoulders away from the ears. Flex your feet strongly and feel like you're standing on something. You're pushing against a wall here with your feet as you scoop into that round back. Here, feel like your arms are going one way, your feet are going one way, but your navel is going in the opposite direction. And roll back again, pushing your feet into that imaginary wall. Roll all the way. Lift the arms. Try come up with no speed bumps. Reach for your toes, and then scoop the abdominals nice and round back. If you want to challenge yourself, keep your arms by the ears the whole time. And if you want to make it a little bit gentler, you lower the arms quite low. The lower the arms go like this, the more assistance you get. So just work at a level that suits you. Try and feel each vertebra articulate with the mat. And if you're struggling to do that because of posture or mobility, just bend the knees and just go halfway like this. That's okay. We're going to stretch the mat because the next one we're going to stay all the way down. Take the arms out a little bit wider to the side. Energize your left heel to the floor strongly. Point your right foot and then hold the one leg circle position. Now, this will be work in your quads. Just to energize the legs and keep them extended will be work, and that's okay. But if you feel that that's too much work for what you feel like today, bend your knee, okay? So it's up to you. We're going to circle the leg around. Let's do it in the traditional way, which is fast and hold. Fast and hold, but keep this bottom leg very energized. And I want you to think of 2 cups of tea here that you don't want to spill, one on each hip bone, and you don't want to spill them. I know sometimes in Pilates in one leg circle, we move the whole pelvis intentionally. But today, I want you to think of the hip and its relationship to the foot and ankle. So let's keep it grounded. Change direction. We go the opposite way. Breathe. Exhale for most of the circle. Inhale at the top. Perfectly normal to hear clicking and popping at your hip joint, especially on your dominant side. That's very normal. Flex the foot strongly on the floor. Lift the other one, pointed. Take it across the midline of the body and up and round. We're doing 5 circles in each direction. Notice how maybe your non-dominant side, like in my case, the left, feels more like a square rather than a circle. And also, the drinks here become much more spilly on the non-coordinated side. So notice how your coordination affects your stability. And how the more coordinated we become, the more stable we become also. Change direction. I can't really go as fast on this side because you don't want to go as fast if it's not smooth yet, you know? Make it smooth and then work on speed. The right one was ready, but the left one isn't. And relax. Take it down. Lovely. So while we're here, we're going to pull our right knee into our chest strongly, and the left foot is going to point in this long, energized way. And then I want you, before you even lift your head, to think about the two-way stretch. This left leg is being pulled long in one direction, and this right knee is being pulled in the opposite direction. We're going to slide our shoulders down, drop our chin, curl up with the head and shoulders, and hover the left leg above the ground. And then go ahead and switch into your one-leg stretch. Now, some people, they don't like to deep knee flex with their knee or hip because it's painful or uncomfortable. Just grab the back of your thigh like this if you like, or keep it as a 90-degree tabletop. But for most of us, we need to work on deep hip and knee flexion because that's something we typically lose as we age. So try and keep that mobility in your hip and knee alive to be able to do that into your old age. One more time on each side. Just keep the breath smooth and continuous. Grab hands, go behind the head. Twist opposite elbow towards opposite knee. Keeping your elbows wide open. See how close you can get your elbow to your knee. If this feels too much for you, just copy me. Feet come down and you just do the prep. Coming up and down with your leg coming up and down in tabletop, and the feet go down. Otherwise, just continuous motion. We're almost there. Working into your upper body, lower body differentiation. Lower body staying linear, upper body's rotating. We go one more time on each side. Let's challenge our abs a little bit. Both legs come up. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. They lower only as low as you don't see this popping up and you don't see your back arching, or you don't feel your back arching. So we breathe out to lower, only as low as we can feel. Still hollow here. Do it on an exhale so that helps. 3. Exhale, 2. And last time, 1. Bend the knees, head comes down. Lift the legs to straighten. We're going to do scissors to finish. Head curls up again, or head and shoulders up again. Pull 1, 2, and switch. 1, 2. Try and straighten the knees as much as you can. 2 pulses. One more on each side. Bend the knees, grab the back of your thighs, roll all the way up to sitting. Whew. So let's rest a little bit while working. We're going to do some toe flexion waves with our feet. While we're here, I want you to think about grabbing a pencil with your toes, and then you're going to point your ankles, and then let go of that pencil, and then come back up. So we go like a wave, you know, bend, point your ankle, extend your toes, then flex your ankle. So you're trying to get mapping or representation, because our feet have a representation in our brain, right? And the more detailed that representation is, the more trust the brain has with the body. And we forget, well, we know, but we forget that the brain controls everything about us. So if we build more trust between our body and this kind of parent, if you like, that can sometimes be an overprotective parent. As we build trust, that brain starts to chill out, takes the brakes off our body, allows us more strength, more power, more flexibility, everything. Now change the direction. We push through the ball of the foot first, you point your toes, and then you fan the toes out like this. Push down, point, and then fan the toes out. Nice. Like that. Perfect. Let's do it one more time. And then squeeze your legs together. Sit nice and tall. Take the arms out to the side. And we're going to twist 1, 2, and then a little bit further reach and come back to center. So when you twist 1, you go a little bit, then you go a little bit further. And then on number 3, on the third reach, just turn your head in that direction. So we go 1, 2, 3, turn your head, come back center, exhale 1, 2, 3. Keep your feet next to each other and grow tall. Feel free to sit like this if you like. Anything that's going to make you sit tall, cross-legged, whatever you like. 3 and center, twist 1, 2, 3, and center, exhale. You should be feeling your mid-back. We're just mobilizing the thoracic spine. 1, 2, 3. Notice if there's any differences one side to the other. 3, reach, center. One more time on each side. 2, 3, reach, come back center, exhale 1, 2, reach for 3, center, and relax. Let's go ahead and lay on our stomachs now. And while you're here on your tummy, I want you to just bend your knees and try not to look at the screen first, but then don't look at the screen after that. I want us to try to do the same toe waves with the legs behind us. And our proprioception, or our body awareness when our limbs are behind us, is much more challenging than when the limbs are in front of us. So see if you're able to do the same quality of movement with the same precision without actually looking at the screen. Because you watching my feet move will help you. So by all means do it if you know you need the help. But if it's easy for you, then try not to look at the screen. And you can just rest your head. I'm just up here because I don't want to squish my camera, my microphone. Now let's change direction. We push through the ball of the foot, point, and then fan the toes out. Push through the ball of the foot, point, fan the toes out. How smooth is that? And then just circle your ankles around, but keep your toes soft and out of the picture. So just notice how the ankle circle also feels different. We didn't do ankle circles in front today, but just having them behind the body feels different if you do these regularly when you're looking at your feet. It feels quite different. Change direction. Remember, try not to involve the toes so that the ankles can shine. And relax. Now make your legs a little bit longer. Whenever you lie down on your tummy, it's nice to just lengthen out. Shuffle your ribs a little bit forward. Take your hands underneath your shoulders and tip your elbows down towards the floor so that it automatically moves your shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen through the crown of the head forward and just come up into a swan preparation. And then exhale, lengthen down. And as you warm up into this, you might feel ready to come into a full swan all the way up on the inhale. Exhale to lengthen back down again. So inhale, we extend. And you don't have to stretch your arms because we just want the shoulders away from the ears. So depending on the length of your arms, I've got quite long arms, so there's no way I'm going to stretch them. If I stretch them, I kind of have to really lift off. And then lengthen all the way down. Let's inhale, come up now. Energize the legs. Turn them out a little bit if that makes you feel more connected to your glutes. And as you exhale, tip now, keeping your eye line forward, keeping the shape. You're literally rocking on your pubic bone like a rocking chair. Now you could put a pillow underneath your pubic area in case that's painful or uncomfortable. But just try and challenge yourself to keep the shape. Keep your legs so energized, you don't want to bend your knees at all. Now, on the exhalation, let's throw ourselves forward, lifting the arms like this, or even forward. Forward, and then quickly catch. Throw, quickly catch. Let's do 2 more. Feel free to do the advanced version actually like this, if you got the rhythm and tempo going, and then child's pose back. Rest in child's pose. Take a few breaths into the back of the rib cage here. And when you're ready, we're going to just come into our plank position. Just rock it. Have your legs squeezing together. We're going to rock all the way forward onto our tiptoes, all the way back. Keep a straight line here. Feel free to do this on the elbows. And if you don't feel up for this, do it against the wall standing on a diagonal. That will lessen the load on your wrists and shoulders. So squeeze your legs together. Energize the whole body. We're rocking forward and backward about 10 times, keeping our shape, keeping our alignment. And then circle around with the heels. The heels are moving in the same direction, around. Keep the alignment. Change direction. 5 times. 2, 3. Keep the weight on the ball of the feet. 4, 5. Hold. If you've got some energy, feel free to do maybe however many push-ups you have. I've got energy for 3 right now. Make this your workout. If you want to do 3 sets of 10, by all means do. I'm going to wait here in child's pose because I've got sessions to teach after this. But you feel free to do a whole bunch of push-ups now if you've got the energy. Feel free to do them with the knees down, obviously, as well. And then let's just go into this position now again, into our toes. Just notice if it feels any easier now as you balance here and go all the way down. Obviously, if you have any knee trouble, do this standing. Center, heels down and up. Knees down, center, heels down, up. Like we did in the beginning, but just see if it feels any different. Maybe you feel more connected to your feet now compared to the beginning of class. We're going to finish with legs and a balance challenge. So we're going to place our left heel in front of the right knee like this. Now, if you have any knee problems at all, you're going to do it like this standing. I always used to do it like this actually, but then one of my colleagues showed me this way of challenging the balance, and it's a little fun. It's a little bit different. We're going to just try to balance here, and the best way to do that usually is to pull your inner thighs together, allow that to connect to your center, and lengthen through the crown of the head, and you should feel that helps. Obviously, if your heel isn't touching the floor, move it a little bit away until it is. So it depends on the flexibility of your ankle. Now here, we're challenging our proprioception at the base of the foot, as well as that of the shin of the back leg, and your overall proprioceptive awareness of your whole body to help you in this balanced position. See if you can maybe twist a little bit to challenge your balance. And then come back center. See if you can close your eyes first, and then add the twist next. Maybe that's too much, maybe that's just the right amount of challenge for you. Listen to your body. Come back center, open your eyes, move your foot further away now, and I'm going to show you the progressed version and then take it a step back. So if you are up for it, you're going to lean forward, really push off the front foot to bring you up to this position, and then you come back to that proposal lunge at the back. Now, if you want to make this easier, push off your toes of the back leg. But if you want to make it stronger, keep your toes pointed. So either toes like this for help or toes like this. If you don't do kneeling at all because of knee problems, start in standing, just reverse lunge back, and then come back up again. Keep going whichever version you're doing. Don't worry about leaning forward Allow your knee to go over the toe. It turns out that that's not dangerous at all. It's completely safe. In fact, it's a good thing to do. It will help with your knee and ankle mobility. Imagine your foot is huge and it's pressing into the floor, expanding into the floor as you rise up, and then you come down. You can do we're doing about 8 repetitions here, but you can do more if you like. Hold it at the top. Let me face you. And balance. We're going to close our eyes. See how we go. Turn your head slowly from side to side. If this feels too much with eyes closed, keep your eyes open. And the balance here goes quite suddenly, so be prepared to step out. Come back center. Open your eyes again. Take a moment. We're going to tilt our head and try first with eyes open. And then when you're ready, close your eyes. We're just challenging. We're moving our vestibular fluids in our inner ears that control a huge part of our balance. So by removing your eyes and inner ears from the equation, the proprioceptors at the bottom of your feet are having to work overtime. And they're already tired from the proposal lunges. And relax. Let's shift now. Put the left leg back, right foot in front. Just practice this balance first. Squeeze the inner thighs together, lengthen through the crown of the head. When you feel ready, start your twist. Close your eyes if you want more of a challenge, if it feels easy. Really feel connected to the front of the foot, through the back shin, through the inner thighs. Come back to center. Shift the foot forward. Lean forward. Press down with the foot. Come all the way up to balance. And then very gracefully and gently you come down to your proposal position again. Now remember your options. You can curl your toes to get some push off the back leg. You could just start from standing, come into a reverse mini lunge and back up if you have knee issues. We're doing about 8 reps of these, remember, but you could do 20 if you're up for more of a leg workout. Single leg training is just wonderful for strengthening the lower body, adding trust, building trust between the brain and the body, since most of life happens on one leg. Every time we walk, we have to shift our weight onto one leg before we can transfer to the next. So being good at single leg work and being trustworthy to your nervous system on that side is crucial. Make this your last one. We go all the way down again, all the way up and stay up. I'll face you. While you're up here, start by turning your head first, and then if you feel up for it, close your eyes. So I've just reversed the order a bit. Center, tilt your head side to side, and then if you feel up for it, close your eyes. I prefer to do this on the floor actually, because this mat is very squidgy, so it adds too much challenge. Come back to center and relax. Shake your legs out. Bounce a little bit. Nice deep breaths. Take a nice big inhale, reach the arms up, roll down all the way down. Stretch your right leg, bend your left, turn your right arm up to the ceiling to look at. Come back to center, stretch your left leg, bend your right, turn to the left. Come back to center and slowly roll all the way back up again. And that's your class done. So I hope you feel more connected to your feet, and thank you so much for joining me on this NeuroPilates class, and I hope to see you for the next one next month. Have a wonderful rest of the day.